America, in Boston, and my family comes from Syria, and I just want to give everybody a little bit of knowledge about what's going on. Let's talk about the issue of chemical weapons. In March of this year, the UN and BBC News proved with evidence that the rebels and the opposition were using chemical weapons against the Syrians. In March. Where is our U.S. government? What are they doing? Why are they not attacking those rebels? That doesn't make sense. So we had proof from the United Nations and BBC News that there was an attack on Syrian civilians in March of this year, and nobody did anything. And now we don't have any proof, and we want to go against the Syrian government. That doesn't make sense. Big lie. Yeah, it was a he's talking about the video. Okay. So, we come from a little Christian town in Syria. We've had two bishops, archbishops, that were kidnapped. And one of our spokesperson was actually there, and he saw it in his eyes. He saw the rebels kidnap two of our bishops. And the crazy thing is, they come from Chechen background. The same people that did the Boston bombing. These are the terrorists that our government wants to go support. And they want to help them take down the Syrian government. These oppositions, they're extremists, they're terrorists. They did the Boston bombing. They did the World Trade bombings as well. How are we supporting these people? It doesn't make sense.
Our next speaker is Cole Harrison from the Massachusetts Peace Action.
Thanks. There's a drama playing out right now in Washington. President Obama had a 1:15 press conference scheduled in the Rose Garden. He hasn't appeared yet. He's 15 minutes late, and there appear to be two reasons. The first is that there are a group of protesters shouting, "Obama, hands off of Syria." The police are taking action to move those people away. The second is that Obama is in the Oval Office on the phone, according to press reports, and we don't know who he's on the phone with. But hopefully it's somebody telling him to reconsider. Amen. An attack on Syria would be illegal. The United Nations Treaty commits the United States to take military action only with the authorization of the UN Security Council. The United States won't go to the United Nations Security Council because it would lose. The administration and the mainstream media are telling lies about the reason. They're telling that Russia and China are obstructing action on Syria. That is not true. That is not true. Rather, there's a disagreement in the UN Security Council about how to make peace in Syria. The United States requires as a precondition that Assad must agree to step down. And secondly, the US and Russia earlier planned a peace conference on the Syrian civil war in Geneva, and they wouldn't let Iran attend the peace conference. So there's a disagreement about the preconditions for a peace conference on Syria, and that's the real obstacle in the United Nations. The mainstream media will not tell you that, and the administration will not tell you that. But for us to go to war at this time would be illegal. If chemical weapons were used, that is a heinous crime. It must be brought to the International Criminal Court. It's not up to the United States to take military action to enforce that so-called international norm. That would be world anarchy if any country decided to take the law into its own hands. Secretary Kerry said yesterday that the pride and the credibility of the United States are on the line because they declared that red line. Well, why are we acting as the world's policemen? That's right. Why is our credibility more important than the issue of preserving the peace instead of starting a war? assigned the United States, the UK, and Russia to convene a conference to establish a weapons of mass destruction free zone in the Middle East. Iran agreed to attend that conference. Syria agreed to attend that conference. Guess who didn't agree to attend?
U.S.
Wrong. It was Israel that refused to attend. And the United States covered up for them by canceling the conference. They never would come clean about why they did it, and when they're going to convene it, they're dragging their feet. There's a constructive solution to the problem of weapons of mass destruction in the Middle East. We have to take it. Now, we also have to severely criticize the hypocrisy of our new Senator Ed Markey, who's out in front calling for a military strike on Syria. Markey and the rest of the Massachusetts congressional delegation must reverse course and must condemn a unilateral attack by the United States. Thank you.
Thank you.
Story is the American Civil War. Can you all imagine if when the North and the South were fighting each other, the world power of the day, Britain, decided to go to Boston and shell, or go to New York and shell? It is unconscionable for us or any other nation to get involved in a civil war. This is a conflict that needs to be resolved by the Syrian people. And with the Iranians and the Saudis and the Russians and the Americans and the Israelis and everyone else who's involved in the internal problems in Syria needs to stop. Let the people of Syria work it out.